Hello, everyone. This is Ella again, and welcome to Perspectives with Ella. Today, we are talking about emotional overload in young people. I just want you to reflect and cast your mind back to social studies in JHS or even primary. You remember that social studies really taught us a lot. I mean, peer pressure, teenage pregnancy, and all those things that we learned about, we can see them happening all around us. And especially inadequate and lack of, you can never go wrong with those two words. Please, let me give you a slight apple. If you are coming to answer a question, and then you don't know, just start with lack of infrastructure. Inadequate something, you'll get it, I'm telling you. Anyways, we want to look at our curriculum in social studies and the fact that social studies really taught us a lot. So, an example is adolescent reproductive health. And then we learned that growing up, as a man, as a boy, becoming a man, your chest starts to broaden. For the girls, they start to experience their period, they start getting curvy, developing breasts, and all that. And so one thing that we do realize is that it spoke about physical, it spoke about emotional, and even sometimes psychological changes in adolescence. And today, we don't want to look at the physical or psychological changes. We want to actually pay attention to the emotional changes. And especially how we are unable, as teenagers, we are unable to understand how our emotions play out when we are growing. Sometimes you can feel extreme anger. Sometimes you can feel like you're crushing on this person. Just say, what's in who jaya? Enjoy. And all that. And these whole emotions are coming all at once. And sometimes if you are not guided properly, you may make shipwreck of your life because you were not guided properly or mentored correctly. But today we just want to understand that our emotions are part of us. Feeling extreme emotions and even sometimes just not feeling it. You don't understand why today you wake up and you are so moody. You don't understand how tomorrow you are so gay. Gay as in cheerful, not the other one. So you're so gay and all that. And sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes they all come at once and you don't know how to wrap your hand around it. But today we want to look at another perspective where in situations where maybe a young guy shows extreme anger and perhaps he reacts violently, he's terribly punished for his actions, but then the root cause, that is his emotions, is not really addressed. So, as parents or as guardians, as older people in society, when we start to see a young girl having her period, we are quick to offer solutions. We are quick to be careful with your one yeah, obey him and all that. We are quick to offer solutions. But then what we often forget is looking at the emotional side of it. We don't teach our young people how to manage their emotions. We don't teach our young people to accept that okay, yes, anger is an emotion. You are human and you're allowed to experience it or express it. But then it should be measured. You should be able to manage it because the repercussions may be dire. We don't look at all those aspects, but then we are rather so fixated on physical, and that is it. And that is how come most times when we grow up and it's like you live in denial of something, you're unable to expose yourself to so many things. Like even sometimes when you're attracted to somebody, you don't know how to feel. You don't know how to react towards the person. When some people that I know personally, when you give them a hug, they go stone cold because they've not been taught to accept those forms of emotional communication. However, today we want to understand that these things are normal. And as older people in society, we want to help our teenagers or our young ones coming up. We want to let them know that, yes, these emotions are perfectly fine because you are human, you are growing up, you're experiencing all these things. But then we ought to teach them to manage them very well. Young people today express emotions intensely, sometimes extreme stress, joy, sadness, and excitement. Feeling too much can be overwhelming, but it doesn't mean that you are weak. Again, it doesn't mean that you are weak. Emotions are signals. It shows that one, you are human. If the difference between us and some other creatures, we have emotions, we can feel. And in recent times, the difference between humans and AI and how this whole topic of AI replacing humans, one thing that is never amiss in these conversations is the human emotional factor that always votes in favor of the human. So, emotions help you to understand yourself, they help you to set boundaries, and they help you to guide your values and know what matters. Ignoring them or suppressing them can make things worse. So you don't, as older people, to parents, to adolescents, to older siblings guiding our younger ones coming up, you don't want to dismiss strong emotions. As a matter of fact, it should alert you when your younger brother expresses such intense emotions like anger and he ends up wrecking things, like how we see in those telenovela movies. If they're angry, they start showing things about. We don't do that in Africa, please, we beg you. We don't do that here. But rather than just also meeting them with so much aggression and violence, sometimes after the punishment and all that, we should go a step further by trying to help them understand their emotions and manage them. As older people, as older siblings, as parents, as those of us who are even for the mere fact that you're in this world and you have young people all around you, you don't want to invalidate young people's feelings. You don't want to overly dismiss their feelings. You don't want to dismiss their feelings. You want to listen. You want to help them understand and manage their emotions instead of just criticizing them. So please share with us in the comments. How do you usually cope, even as an adult, when your emotions are intense? Sometimes on social media, people comment. I saw a meme that it wasn't really a meme. Somebody tweeted that he's in a relationship with his partner or something. Once they have a fight, she just goes off. She deletes his picture, she deletes his number and all that. And for me, that is alarming. It is an emotion of denial. You don't shy away from fights, you don't shy away from misunderstandings, they are part of it. How do you usually cope when emotions feel heavy? You want to share with us in the comments. Let's just keep engaging. Let's keep creating an enabling environment for the young ones coming up, just not paying attention to their physical growth, but to their emotional stability as well. So, this is Ella, Perspectives with Ella, essentially survival tips for the young person. Bye.